Pro Bowler, a 7-time All-Pro, no big deal, and a Super Bowl MVP. His 106 sacks are the most in the NFL over the past decade. He is a veteran in this league, a mentor to many. Please welcome to the show, Von Miller.
Hey! What up, Von?
Howdy.
Love having you here. We're going to get into a ton of stuff, but there's a Super Bowl on Friday, and pass rush has been talked about left and right 24/7. You have a pass rush academy. You're creating a venue, a moment for some of these young guys to come and learn some of your moves. Are any of the guys playing in the Super Bowl? Were they part of your academy?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an academy. It's a summit where guys that have any type of experience rushing can meet with guys that don't have any experience rushing. I don't really think it's a place where I come teach the guys. Like we come learn. I learn every year from the pass rush summit.
So who's in the Super Bowl that's part of that?
Eric Armstead has been there. D Ford has been there.
That's what's up.
Solomon Thomas has been there.
Okay.
So we got a couple of guys that have been there.
That's awesome.
Frank Clark has been.
Frank Clark too.
Yeah,
Frank Clark.
Wow, it's almost everybody in the game.
Both rosters.
I know, right? I got to get the Bosa brothers.
We're playing the clip of the Super Bowl on the way in. We've talked about your Super Bowl this week, comparing it to this one, in the sense that Mahomes is this crazy, charismatic MVP quarterback like Cam was. The Niners have this amazing pass rush like you guys did. Do you see any similarities between your Super Bowl and this one?
I just think the 49ers, they have one of the toughest defensive lines in the league. And they're going against Patrick Mahomes, which has to be the most explosive, offense in the league. But I feel like defense wins championships. Nick Bosa and the Eric Fisher matchup is going to be one to watch. And, the 49ers secondary versus Patrick Mahomes. So they got quite a few matchups. But I'm going with the 49ers.
Yeah, that D-line, of course.
Yeah, D-line for sure.
All right, let's talk about your team, the Broncos. Now, this season didn't go the way that you wanted it to, but you guys finished strong, though. You won in 4 out of the last 5 games. You guys actually finished second in the AFC West after Drew Lock took over. What was it about Drew that kind of sparked the squad?
Man, he just had that confidence. He just had an aura around him. And,
really?
And I knew it from day one, like he was special. But, to really see him in practice and in games.
A lot of players say, I knew he was special, I knew it from day one. What do you mean by that?
Man, it's just I feel like confidence is such a huge part of quarterback's game. And, a young quarterback, he has all the confidence in the world. And I think that's going to take him where he needs to go.
Vaughn, we show these highlights of Mahomes, and you see him twice a year, every year. The left-handed pass, you're chasing him. Then there's the two-point convert, all this stuff. You've had a lot of success in your career. This guy is also a superstar in the league. What would be your advice to these 49ers pass rushers on trying to contain this dude who, at the drop of a ball, can make some crazy trick play?
Man, they just got to play their game. I feel like Nick Bosa and Eric Fisher, that's going to be the matchup that'll open up for the 49ers. And you got D Ford going against Mr. Schwartz, too. He's familiar with Mr. Schwartz. He practiced against him for 4 or 5 years. So I just think, defense is the way to go. And Patrick Mahomes, the way to stop it is you have to play good defense, but you have to score points as well. If the 49ers don't score points, then, it'll be the Chiefs' game to win.
Listen, Von, tell us what you got going on with Old Spice, because every time you come here, you represent very well. Yeah. And Kay said it when you popped on the set. You brought a different aura and a different smell.
I know. Where's that bottle?
I like to be rough and tough on the football field. That's what makes you a great football player. But off the football field, I like to stay low-key and smooth. And the new Old Spice Ultra Smooth is great for guys like me that want to stay low-key and don't want to have overpowering scents without compromising performance.
Love it.
Wow, that was incredible. You should be in the Pitch Academy. That should be the new academy. The Old Spice Pitch.
I got it on, so I feel like
It's good. I
got it all the way over here.
You guys should buy that out there.
You're a star, Von, but there's a big star over there. Have you noticed anything special about the old Microsoft Piaggio guys out yonder? They got your likeness on it. Can we show, please, Von Miller, what we're referring to? There it is. What do you think, Von?
I think it's cool, and whoever did that did a great job with the glasses and the hat and the smile. That's me for sure. It's super cool. Super cool.
It's been the star of the show, the Piaggio.
Yes, the star of the show. Also, your glasses, your Oakleys you guys have here on set. Von Miller, of course, you have some of the most incredible fashion sense in the NFL, and a lot of it comes from your glasses. You have over 100 pairs. Is it more than that now?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit more than that.
Probably a little bit more than that. And you are ridiculously well-versed on all things fashion. So we thought have you give us some predictions for the coming year, both in football and in pop culture, in a segment we will call 2020 Vision.
Ooh, I like that.
You down? First prediction, your breakout NFL star of 2020.
I got to go with Drew Lock.
Yes, sir.
You know, that was easy for me.
Love it.
You know, I'm in practice with the guy every day. You know, I see the way he works. You know, we put other pieces around him for him to be successful. And, you know, I'm hoping for a big year out of Drew Lock.
He's got bars, too, I see on the
He
sideline.
does.
Yeah.
He does. He's so cool, man. He's a rock star. He's really a rock star.
All right, Von, moving forward, looking to the future, which movie will win Best Picture at the Academy Awards? What do you think?
Best picture.
Yes.
Dang. I haven't. The last time I went to the movies was to see Queen and Slim. I like that.
Okay.
movie.
Have you seen Cats?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Nate has.
You got to
Nate's seen
catch
Cats.
it. So Queen and Slim is the clubhouse leader for Best Picture. TBD, though. We'll see.
All right, so obviously you're in the fashion. You're always dressing fresh. You came through with the Louis Vuitton high tops. Kyle was like, "Hey, are those LA Gears?" Sorry,
British
my
Knights,
guy.
Nate.
He's not British Knights. He's not really into the fashion. But what fashion trend do you think is going to pop in 2020?
You know what? Trends, they come and go. I feel like, dang, that was a tough.
Something comes back around. It's always like a cycle.
I think like the baggy jeans will come back
Okay.
around.
Really?
People already started like, you know, in 2019 and 2018. But I just feel like the baggy jeans
Hey,
are coming back.
these ain't it. These
Somebody
ain't it.
tell
I know,
us
these
to
not
pick
it.
out.
These not it. These not it.
I thought you were going to say slap bracelets. Okay.
I wish.
Yeah, also cool. We saw the Grammys, Billie Eilish and Lizzo. Who is the music star of 2020? Who is going to be the person that everyone is listening to in the summer and is blasting from the rooftops?
Oh, geez. It's so many great artists out. I mean,
The baby.
the baby. He's already popped.
He
He's
popped
already
in
popped.
2005.
Sash.
I like Lizzo. I like Lizzo, and I like what she's doing.
Everything's Lizzo right now. Finally, who is winning Super Bowl 54, Mr. 2020?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Really?
But I'm not confident about that
Defense.
because you can't count out the Chiefs. We saw that in the last two games.
Right.
They've come back by 24 and they've
Yeah.
come back by 10. You can't really count those guys out.
That's what's up. Hey, listen, appreciate you joining us,
That's
baby.
fine.
Thank you, guys.
Von Miller in the house.
Von Miller.
Give it up for Von, everybody.
Yeah. What's up, Von?
Nobody better to talk about how to stop one Patrick Mahomes. Love having guests here on the show. Derrick Henry's wandering around somewhere around the side. He can barely fit behind a
know.
stage. He's so big.
I always ask him to stiff arm me. This time I'm just going to hug him.
No.
I love Derrick
He is
Henry.
one big sweetheart.
I know.
Will Selva's out in the newsroom in Culver City with more. Hey, Will.
Hey, what's going on there, Kay? And guys, well done by Von. Anything that he says, I will follow his predictions. In the meantime, as we wait for big guests over there, we got news to tell you about. And as an organization, the Chiefs haven't been in the Super Bowl since 1969. The last Niners appearance was in 2012. The only remaining member of that San Francisco's team is still on the roster, and that would be offensive tackle Joe Staley. Now, as a team, the Chiefs actually have more postseason experience than the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo has, of course, 2 Super Bowl rings, but will be seeing the field for the first time as a starter on Sunday. Richard Sherman, who is tied with Emmanuel Sanders with 2 Super Bowl appearances, says the experience thing is given way too much credit.
You know, I'm one of those people who doesn't really subscribe to the notion that playing in a Super Bowl really helps you in the next one. I guess it gives you more experience to advise guys of what to expect throughout the week. But once you kick off and all the cameras flash one time, it ends up just being football. You know, when we won our first Super Bowl, we didn't have any experience. Nobody had been there. Nobody had played there, and we won by almost 40 points. And so I think that at the end of the day, guys just have to understand that, keep everything in perspective, like it's a football game.
Well, Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones telling our Tom Pelissero they hope to put the game on Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulders, forcing him to throw the ball. But as a starter, Jimmy G has a 23-5 record, so he's shown he's not just a handed-off QB. In fact, tight end George Kittle has all the faith in the world in his QB and told our man, Omar Ruiz, he knows he has that it factor from day one.
Honestly, the very first snap he ever took in a walkthrough, his cadence was so incredible. I'm not even gonna lie, it was just like everyone kind of turned. I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, it's gonna work. And so I mean, just really from the first day, he's just such a positive guy, and just from day one, you could tell he just had a different mindset about him. And just from there on out, I don't think anyone ever doubted him. Everyone just looked up to him right away, and I still do.
And all we need is for Jimmy G to get back to Kittle a lot faster on text. But that is for another
on this Thursday, January 30th. That is Kyle Brandt. My name's Kay Adams. This is Nate Burleson, of course, and Peter Schrager. Guys, we're here.
Here we go.
Ready to rock and roll, baby. Miami has been good to us. You ready, Peter?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. We've got a great guest list for this hour. Just in this hour alone, I see him over there. I was too shy to say hello, but Von Miller.
What's up, Von?
Is here. Super Bowl
What's up,
50
Von?
Got
MVP.
spiced, though.
Pro Bowl running back Derrick Henry.